Screamin' Eagle at Fun Spot Atlanta. This park is located southwest of Atlanta. This park has just the one roller coaster, and it's not a very big ride. However, it is so good. This ride impressed me so much. I went to all three Fun Spots on my trip in late March, early April, utilizing my Fun Spot Season Pass. And I rode all 7 coasters at the 3 locations. And Screamin' Eagle ended up being my favorite of the 7. I don't want to oversell this coaster too much here. This isn't going to be a top 25 or anything like that, but for what it is so good. It's only 38 foot tall, yet it gives some crazy ejector airtime. You're not going to find airtime this good on anything this size or even twice its height. It's not the best airtime in the world, but it is still excellent. So let's talk about the manufacturer for a bit. This coaster was manufactured by E&F Miler Industries. I don't know if I'm saying that right, if it's Miler or Miller, but there's only one L. If you've ridden an E&F Miler coaster, it's probably been a kiddie coaster. That seems to be what they focus on. I didn't realize that I had ridden an E&F coaster before this trip. It was Canyon Blaster at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I do believe it to be the best kiddie coaster I've ever been on. It is pretty good for a kiddie coaster. But E&F also made a few coasters that are called Hi-Miler models. These are taller coasters, and they feature some insane airtime moments, and admittedly jerky turns that some people won't like. There are 3 different types of Hi-Milers that have been made. There were 2 of the mid-size model. One was Starjet at Casino Pier in New Jersey, which unfortunately fell into the Atlantic Ocean as a result of Hurricane Sandy in 2012. The other mid-size model was in Branson before it was moved to Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia in 2010. I got to see this coaster in person, Viking Voyage, as it is still standing in the park but is no longer in operation. And that is a shame because these Hi-Milers are such great coasters. So part of my plea in this video is to Wild Adventures to please reopen this coaster. There could be something wrong with it that I don't know about, but if not, please reopen it. The one I got to ride at Fun Spot Atlanta is the smallest of the Hi-Milers. The tallest is the 90-foot Screamer that once operated at Scandia in Ontario, California. And from what I hear, this ride is absolute insanity with unbelievable ejector airtime. From what I hear, this would be a guaranteed top 20 for me, ahead of at least 2 RMC coasters. The Scandia Park recently shut down, and the coaster is for sale. And all the footage that you're seeing here of the Screamer at Scandia belongs to Parks Bros. Full credit to them. I'll put a link to the video in the description. Be sure to check out their channel and subscribe to them. And my biggest plea in this video is for someone somewhere to please purchase the Scandia Screamer. It is a low capacity ride, so it wouldn't be a good fit for a park that gets huge attendance. But there are plenty of smaller parks that would benefit greatly from this ride. You'd be getting a unique ride that offers up a great experience. This ride desperately needs and deserves a good home. And for us enthusiasts, we need to get the word out about how good this ride is and how it is for sale. And maybe even encourage a small park near you to consider purchasing this coaster. But in the meantime, there is only one of the 4 Hi-Milers left in operation, and that is, of course, the Screamin' Eagle at Fun Spot Atlanta. I highly encourage all coaster enthusiasts to go to this park when you're in the Atlanta area and ride this coaster. And to be completely balanced, this ride alone does not warrant a trip to Atlanta, but if you're going to Six Flags Over Georgia, or if you're in the area for any other reason, please visit this park and ride this coaster. Even if you don't have a Fun Spot Season Pass, just go and experience this unique, last-of-its-kind ride. Parking is $5, and you can purchase one ride for $10 or unlimited rides for, I think, $30. It is so worth it if you're already in the area. And if you have a Fun Spot Season Pass, it's all free, including the parking. Now, like I said before, this coaster is only 38 foot tall, and it's a very short and simple layout. And despite the jerky turns on this, it rides perfectly smooth on the track. There's no rattle, no roughness of any sort, but the turns are jerky. You have 2 single drops and 2 double down drops with sharp turns after each drop. Each drop gives better airtime than the last, and each turn is more jerky than the last. The first double down gave such great ejector airtime, I was in shock at how good that was. But that was just simply the prelude to one of the best single moments of airtime I have ever experienced. That final double down is such crazy, insane ejector airtime. That is legit standing airtime. I've heard that term before, but I've never experienced it myself, at least not on any coaster that I've ridden yet. This was my first true standing airtime experience. The lap bars are so odd that you can pull it down to staple yourself if you want, but it does allow you to leave yourself some room. And if you do, you will be standing on that final double down, especially in the back seat. The turn after that double down is maybe the sketchiest turn that I've ever experienced on a coaster, and I loved it. It's very jerky. I thought I would ride this thing once in the front, once in the back, and then leave and go to Six Flags, but I just kept going back for another ride on this thing, especially after riding it in the back on my second ride. It was just that good. Another plea that I would make is to E&F Miler Industries to start pushing your Hi-Miler models and to be willing to manufacture more of those. And also to the smaller amusement parks, please order a new Hi-Miler for your park. Only 4 have ever been made, and as of a couple months ago, we're down to 2 standing and 1 operating. But that doesn't mean that there can't be more made going forward, unless there's some issue that I don't know about. So to sum it all up, I plead with everyone to get the word out about Screamin' Eagle and to go to Fun Spot Atlanta and ride this thing. And let the ride ops and the staff there know how good this thing is. We need to plead with Wild Adventures to reopen theirs Viking Voyage, and I already did so in the email survey that they sent me. And we need to get some parks somewhere to purchase the Scandia Screamer. While I admit that the Screamin' Eagle isn't a top 25 coaster for me, I believe that the Scandia Screamer probably is, especially with it being over double the size. I believe that it is probably a top tier coaster, right up there alongside the lower end RMCs, maybe even as good as the middle ground RMCs. Even Screamin' Eagle, the smallest of the Hi-Milers, I tentatively have it ranked at number 44 out of the 218 coasters I've ridden. That's practically in the upper 20%. I have it ranked ahead of 3 of the 6 B&M Hypers that I've ridden. But I want to hear from you. Have you ridden any of these Hi-Milers, and what did you think of them? And I would be very interested in hearing from anyone who has ridden Scandia Screamer. I love the idea of riding a massive version of Screamin' Eagle. So do you hear me, Frontier City? Yes, I am pleading with the park that is closest to me. Frontier City, please purchase the Scandia Screamer. But as long as some park somewhere buys it, hopefully in the United States, I would be very happy, and I would definitely travel to that park just to ride it. So please leave a comment below, and please get the word out about how great these Hi-Milers are, and thank you for watching.